Do you know that to be armed with the knowledge of what one solar panel can generate in your location in just one day is a game changer when you are into solar power generation? Hello everyone, JK Solar Wind. A lot of people think that once it is daylight and it is not cloudy or raining, their solar panels generate practically the same power throughout the day. In today's video, we are going to find out how much power this 150 watt solar panel produces at different times of the day, and at the end of the day, we are going to find out how much energy it generates. I woke up today to install this solar panel on my roof so I'll be able to catch the sun rise. This panel is connected to this watt hour meter, which gives us the exact amount of power that it produces at any given time, and also the energy that is being produced over a period of time. To get an accurate result for this experiment, you have to make sure that the power coming from the solar panel is fed into a source that does not resist the power that is being produced by the solar panel throughout the course of the experiment. If you are going to connect this device using a charge controller, make sure that the batteries are nowhere near full, because if the batteries get full in the course of the experiment, the charge controller will not allow the solar panel to push all the power that it is capable of producing into the batteries, and that will affect the overall results. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. This is what a typical watt hour meter looks like. It generally shows you the voltage on the top left, the current on the top right, the power on the bottom left, and the energy produced on the bottom right. I reset the meter just before this experiment began, so that's why you are seeing the energy showing 0. And of course, you can see that the power is very low because the sun just came up. As the sun intensifies, the power, the voltage and the current increases. But when the sun drops in intensity, the power as well as the current and the voltage drops. But the energy always keeps increasing as long as there is sunlight. We will see this at the end of the experiment. So I'm just going to let you see how it works. So every hour, we are going to see the power from the solar panel and the energy generated. It's 7 a.m. It is expected that the power will start at a very low value because the sun is just coming up. And of course, you can see that the energy was reset to 0. So we're going to have to observe it and watch it climb to the peak. We can see that it has increased from 5 watts to 27 watts. And of course, the energy has also climbed up a bit. It is still climbing up. That is the power. It's now 62.5 watts. And of course, the energy, like I mentioned earlier, will just continue to rise until the sun sets. So we are closing in on the peak period for the sun. So it's already 100 watts now, which is just about 2/3 of the capacity of the solar panels. And of course, the energy level has risen to 129 watt hour. The power remains the same. The weather is a bit fluctuating here and there, but it quickly stabilized. So that's why it is not above that 102 that we got before. It's still more or less the same power that we're getting. So at midday, you can see that we are hitting what is looking more like going to be the peak power for the day, which is 120 watts. And you can see how quickly the energy has risen, because when the power is coming in high, the energy also increases very quickly. At this point, it was threatening to rain. That's why you can see that the power is fluctuating. But I was able to capture it at about 117 watts. So you can see that the energy is still going on high as well, because this is where you get most of your power from the sun. Up until about 2 p.m., the sun was still not stable because of the threat of a rainfall. So you can see that even at 2 p.m., the power we're getting is still somewhere around 43, which is supposed to be more, 41 watts. It's supposed to be more than this, all things being equal, but because of the weather. So, but nevertheless, you can see that the energy is still rising high. So regardless of what you are making, like I said, the energy just keeps going up. This is where you expect the power to start going down little by little, all things being equal. So, but you can see that it's even higher than it was when it was 2 p.m. So the weather really affected the result at that time. So this is to be expected, because you cannot expect your weather to just be the same all through. We are officially approaching when the sun just keeps going down and down and the power just keeps going down, but we're still getting about 45 watts even at 4 p.m. so which is impressive. And this is how it's supposed to be if the weather was clear throughout. And of course you can see that the energy has also gone up a lot. We are at 600 and something watt hour right now. At this point you can see a drop in the power that is being produced from 50 to 13 in just 1 hour, and it only gets worse because the sun is like going to sleep at this point. It has produced practically all the power that it can produce for the day. That is what we are seeing on the display right now. Now if you have observed very carefully, you notice that when the power was going up, you will notice that the current was also going up, but the voltage was not really going up and down just like that because it is connected to a battery bank, which does not really allow it to move up and down as freely as the current and the power. So you can see that it's no longer generating anything at 6:30 p.m. So that is a typical day for you when you are using your solar system. At the end of the experiment, you can see that the peak power that was recorded from the solar panel is 120 watts, which is about 80% of the solar panel rating. And the current that was recorded at that particular time, which is also the maximum current, was just about 9 amps. Even though I didn't capture it on camera, I was able to see somewhere around 130 watts max. So looking at the energy, we can see that the total energy produced was 644 watt hours. If we are going to use this value to know exactly what it can power at home, then we will need to know the power rating of the devices we want to power with the energy produced. So let's dive into it. Let's say we want to power 4 5-watt bulbs and want to power a table fan with a power rating of 40 watts. At the same time, we also want to power a 32-inch television, which is about 50 watts. If we want to power everything, we will add all their power ratings, which is about 110 watts in total. This is not including the inverter consumption, as your inverter uses power to convert energy from your batteries into electrical energy, which in turn is used to power the devices. The smaller the inverter, the lesser the consumption. So for the sake of this experiment, we will assume 10 watts. That brings the total power to 120 watts. To estimate the power of time that it can power these devices, all we need to do is to divide the total energy that we got from the solar panel throughout the day, which is 644 watt hour, by the total power of the devices, which is 120 watts. So that gives us just over 5 hours. With this, you now have an idea of what a 150 watt solar panel can do. If we increase the total number of the 150 watt solar panels to 10, that means the run time will be multiplied by 10. That is, we are going to have about 50 plus hours of run time. So now you see how important this test can be if you are planning to calculate how much power you can get from your solar panels and what it can power in your home, knowing the power rating of the devices or appliances in your home and the amount of time that you are going to be using these devices in a day. You can easily tell how many watts you'll be needing in total, but this is not all there is to it, as you will need batteries to store the power that you are going to be getting. That will be a video for another day. One of the conclusions from this experiment is that you cannot use the result of one day to calculate your energy needs. So in a future video, I'm going to test what I'm going to be getting on a daily basis for a period of time and repeat that in different seasons as well. If you have come this far with this video, it is important to know that these videos are not usually easy to make. So to encourage us to make more of this kind of videos, you may want to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to also leave a comment in the comment section below. It really encourages us to do more of this kind of videos. See you and catch you on the next one.